We can just do the.
Well, without knowing it, you've just done our intro. Welcome to the Real for Life podcast with Jesse and Joe. It's a big day today, Sunday, January 28th, AFC and NFC championships. Did those go pretty much how you thought they would?
No. Well, I thought the Niners were going to destroy the Lions. Obviously, I was going for the Lions because I hate the Niners.
Same.
But they came back and won.
I know. I was bummed. The Lions have always been my second team, just because when you're growing up, they always play on Thanksgiving.
Right.
So, and you know, it's a Cinderella story. They haven't made the playoffs in 30 years.
The Lions were your family?
Yeah. But I don't know. 49ers played good when they came back. I didn't watch the other game. I turned to the channel for like 2 minutes, saw a close-up of little T Swift, and was like, I'm not doing it.
Oh, dude, I was about to make a post of just, I hope Kansas City loses because I don't want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Like,
I know, yeah, she's going to be there. Probably do a cameo on stage with.
Oh, absolutely.
With
and every time like they show her and she's like cheering, you can tell she has no fucking idea what's going on with the game. She just goes, "Oh, like something happened." Like somebody pokes her and goes, "Celebrate." Like,
so on the Twitters, I saw somebody their prediction is that the Chiefs win, and then while they're getting the Lombardi trophy, Kelsey gets down on his knee, proposes.
Ugh.
Man, I hope that doesn't happen. It's not that I wish bad upon her. Like T Swift, lover, hater, like good songwriter.
Songwriter.
I mean, her songs. She writes her own music. Not a lot of artists.
I did not know that. Good for her.
Yep. So she is a good songwriter. Her songs are catchy. And somehow at the age of like 35, she still convinces everybody that she's like 22.
No.
It's like everybody, like if you were a mime and you had to be T Swift, this is all you'd have to do. Because that's all she does all the time. She's always surprised. Here's my issue with it, and I'm going to sound like an asshole, okay? The thing, T Swift is exactly the same as Adele, where it's like a dude's going to go out with her because she's famous and she's rich and there's an aura around her, right? But then when you date her for a while, you realize that she's a 6.5 on a good day, right?
She looks like Napoleon Dynamite. She's not good looking.
No, she's not.
Like a dick. She has no butt, no tits, and she's not cute. She wears a shit ton of makeup, and that's about it. She's a solid 6. She's not ugly. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm not saying that saying and all that shit, you have to be attractive. But she's no Mariah Carey.
No, she's definitely no Mariah Carey. Definitely not. Maybe today Mariah Carey. She's not 90s Mariah Carey, definitely. She's maybe post Nick Cannon. But no, it's the same thing though. It's like they're super famous and they're rich, but after a while, you're going to realize you're Travis Kelce. You can push your meat into literally whatever or whoever you want. And T Swift is a 6.5.
Yeah.
So I don't see that going the distance, which makes me sound like a complete asshole. But what was that movie when there's like, when you're famous, there are no rules. You can push your meat into whatever you want.
I didn't hear you, dude. I'm sorry. I get so much feedback in my headphones. I can't hear shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Talking about my favorite movie, She's Out of My League.
Oh yeah.
Because they go over the whole numbers system, and it's like, rules don't apply to famous musicians. When you sell a gold album, you can push your meat into whoever and whatever you want. But until then, you're a 5.
And her music is awful. And I know that every band sounds the same and they put out the same shit, but like all of her songs sound the same. There'll be a song on the radio I have never heard, and I know it's her. Like, after like 2 words. Have you seen the video where it shows her how many times she rhymes the words bar and car? Like she does it in like 15 of her songs.
That does not surprise me. There was an AI. Someday when we're famous and we have an engineer and we can have somebody pull stuff up like a young Jamie, that'd be nice. But there was an AI version of a song. It was completely AI, but it sounded exactly like T Swift, and it was about when her and Travis Kelce break up.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
It's like all super basic rhymes. It is pretty funny. It was pretty good.
I don't know if I can deal with this noise. You can't hear any of this noise.
Barely. Little here, little there.
Well, we'll see how the recording works.
So I had to go to the mall today. That was an experience.
Still open?
Yeah. Actually, it was really busy. Like every teenager with a nose ring was there.
Interesting. Ours is like a swap meet now. It's a bunch
Oh,
of
really?
stores you've never heard of.
No, either way, I got in trouble while I was there. So Parker ordered these basketball shoes like 2 weeks ago. They're still not here. So we're like, we got an hour. Let's go to the mall real quick. We'll go to Dick's. We'll get him a pair of shoes for the basketball game. No big deal. So we go in Dick's. Don't really see anything crazy that he likes. We go to Foot Locker, and I find a shoe, and he likes it, and I'm, asking for his size. So there's like 3 people there doing jack shit nothing, right?
Yeah.
So what is the universal sign when you need a shoe?
You hold the shoe.
You hold the shoe up.
Like, I need this size.
This is a Seinfeld moment. Everybody knows. You hold the shoe.
Right.
So I do that. Nobody comes over. So I walk up to one of them and I say, hey, you have this in a 2. She uses her little scanner bob thing. Oh, no, we don't have that. Not like, have you tried this one? Or we can order it, even though you're not gonna. It's like, it's what you do, right? It's like, oh, we don't have that. And like literally didn't even continue the conversation. Just walked away. So that made me a little saucy. Then we go back to Dick's Sporting Goods, find a shoe that he wants. The shoe guy is like nowhere to be seen. So finally I see the shoe guy. He's exactly what you'd think of. Like 5'11" broccoli head teenager. Right? Yeah, exactly what you see at the mall. So like I make eye contact with him. I got the universal sign. I'm holding the shoe in the air. It's hoisted high. Okay. I'm smiling, being very inviting.
Smiling.
Yeah. I make eye contact with him and he just stares at me. So this is where I got in trouble. I just said nice out loud where everybody could hear. Oh, you know what? Let me walk up to you. So I walk over to him and I say, hey, can you check if you have this in a size 2? He's like, yeah, let me check. And I'm like super nice to him after that because, I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's a long said feeling of mine that we need to call people out in public more when they're doing stupid shit, right?
Well, it's your fucking job.
Yes.
It'd be like trying to order food at a restaurant and you're like, no, I'll come to you. This isn't fucking McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 people standing around at a shoe store. What do you think your fucking job is? Just sell shoes.
Exactly. So
the
anyway,
guy behind the register, he's the checkout dude or girl. You motherfuckers standing around doing nothing, you're getting shoes.
Oh no, he's coming up. So I get the shoes. I'm overly polite to the guy because I've made my point, right?
Right.
Trying to salvage this little interaction here. So we get the shoes we want. We go to the cash register. There's 2 cashiers. We're in line. One cashier finishes with their customer. You think they'd help me next? I'm right there. He goes across the aisle and he's like putting labels on socks, something that definitely can't wait, right? And then the other guy's taking a while, so he finally comes over and I'm paying for it. And there's no like, hi, thank you for coming in. Just like I completely inconvenienced him, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we leave. And that's when me and the wife get in a fight. Because I'm like, why can't people just be at work and work? Like, I don't get it. She's like, well, they need them more than they need the jobs. So the ball's in their court, which she makes a great point. Totally understand it. And I was like, yeah, that's the problem. Back when people actually had to like try to get a job, the standards were higher. Or like if you work in the shoe department, you get the shoe. Like, and you know,
Dude, I had the same story. I called you this like 3 months ago. You know those stupid bouncy jumpaline places in the mall?
yeah, I really want to go to one.
Oh, they're awful. Anyways, so kid's birthday party. We're stuck there. And I'm like, oh, dude, I want a new hat. So I go to Lids. There's always one dude working in Lids. And they always look exactly the same. They look like dudes that wear hats.
Yep. Flat brim.
Right.
Couple curls coming out from underneath.
I go, hey, and I'm standing there in a corner staring up at a hat that's 12 feet off the fucking ground.
Hey, real quick though, did he have the beard that was like a half-inch line all the way down?
It was definitely shaved in perfectly. And he comes over. He did come over. I go, hey, man, can I get that hat up there? And he's all like, yeah, like just totally inconvenienced by it. Goes and gets the ladder. And he's like, what size are you? I go, honestly, I don't know. I go, I'm like 7.25, but it kind of depends on the hat. Eye roll. Fucking eye roll. I'm like, bro, you sell hats. Like, there's nobody else in the store, by the way. It's just me. Not a single person in the store. And I'm like, what have you been doing for 20 minutes? So I find a fucking hat. He doesn't even fucking ring me up. I have to download an app to pay through my phone to buy the hat at the store. There is no cash register.
Why do you have a store?
Why do you have a store? Why are you here? What the fuck is going on?
So yeah, here's the part where it sucks because we're old, middle-aged pieces of shit at this point, right? Like we're almost at the get off my lawn age,
Right, but those
so
people.
So we're getting to the point where we're those guys that are like, I really want to support brick and mortar. I don't want to buy everything online. But then you fucking go into brick and mortar. Why would you want to deal with that?
Right.
I can order it on Amazon, guaranteed on my door in 2 days. I don't have to talk to anybody. I get exactly what I want. Like, I don't necessarily want to support Jeff Bezos' dick-shaped spaceship.
But he makes it really hard. That was a double pun.
All right, you can hate Jeff Bezos, but at least, he did what every bro would do. Like, he's like,
if you got $1 billion, you're gonna make a ship that looks like a dick.
Yeah, I'm gonna start taking a shit ton of steroids because he's jacked at this point. I'm gonna get rid of my wife. It's gonna cost me 156 billion. We're good. And then you know what? That Elon guy's flexing on me a little bit. He's trying to go to space. I think I'll go to space. Right. I'm gonna make my rocket look like a dick. And yeah, he's awesome. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like fuck you money. It's beyond fuck you money.
And when you have fuck you money, I consider it an insult to not exercise the fuck you money, right?
Oh, absolutely. Can you still hear me? I'm trying something.
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Sorry. My technical difficulties. Yeah, because you're going to spend the money.
Yeah.
You don't...
I would love to have fuck you money. Yeah. I have daydreams all the time because I play the lottery every week. I go in every Friday.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. I get my, couple 6-packs of my Bowie Pacific Pale Ale that I've been enjoying lately. And I get a Powerball ticket. Just once a week. It's $2. It gives me an excuse to daydream.
Gotten one fucking Powerball ticket in my life.
Oh, I play every week. Knowing full well I'm not going to win.
Of course it was like 10 billion or something to pay out.
Yeah. You're not going to win, but I like having the excuse to daydream. Because in my head, I literally, and you'll know when I win the lottery because, and I've already told Tana this, literally the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to show up to your bar in a brand new big fucking F-350 with a brand new biggest Moomba Mobius boat they make. right in front of your bar.
In December.
And I'm gonna throw the keys at you.
Oh yeah.
Because if you win the lottery, like first thing you should do is buy something not for yourself.
I appreciate that. Did you ever see the video of Post Malone when he's
Here's how
drunk?
bad it is, though. I feel guilty. There's an Escalade for your wife behind the bar.
It's like a 96 Escalade.
Well, it's new. It's just, it's not.
But it's on 24s.
It's a King Ranch. It's not a Platinum. You know what I mean?
So Post Malone is at like this hotel bar, and there's a YouTube video of it, and Ford drops off his brand new truck, and it's a 6-wheel F-250.
Ooh.
It is gangster as shit, and he's a few beers deep, and it's the most honest moment of just like, fuck yes. Like he's walking around this truck just like, yes.
I made it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go crazy. Like, because I think that's where most people get in trouble is they buy like a really big fucking house in a place where the property taxes are really high.
Oh, and then they start to be investors like they know how to fucking invest.
Yeah, I wouldn't invest jack shit.
There's a show about this where they like everybody that wins a lotto goes broke and they just do dumb shit.
Because they buy a bunch of stuff you have to pay taxes on.
Yeah. That's
like
how rich people are rich. They don't
staff it.
They invest their money. This is a loophole. I could be wrong. I'm a dipshit. Rich people invest their money and then they go to the bank on their investments and take out a loan.
Yep.
And then they pay back the loan. And then when they run out of money, they pull and pay taxes on the money they pull, but they live off the loan. So on paper, they have no money. They just have investments. And then they don't pay income tax because they don't make any money. They're just paying off a fucking loan.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor people do it too. Like I've got a buddy. We're not.
No, they just get money from the government. That's not a loan. That's just welfare.
Well, yeah. But no, you can do it at our level too. I've got a buddy that has a quote unquote LLC, and the LLC probably sells $2,000, maybe $3,000 worth of stuff a year. Half of it's to himself, right?
Nice.
But everything he buys is a business expense. And then he's got Sprinter vans that it's like super pimp Sprinter van. If you rent it out 4 times a year, it's considered a business tax deductible. So he rents it out to his best friend and then just pays him cash. And then everything he does with that van is now tax deductible because it's a business.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this human being has another job to sustain that.
Oh, this other human being has a normal 40-hour-a-week job, solid bro. But he just knows how to work taxes. I think he got like 45 grand back last year.
I saw this stupid ass TikTok, and I'll say TikTok, but it's not a TikTok. It's a reel because I'm 40 and I watch TikTok on Instagram. And they're
totally legal, by the way. They're all of age.
Totally. And this guy goes around and asks people like, what they do for work or whatever. And he runs up to this dude and he's like, what'd you pay for your Porsche? And I want a Porsche. I don't know shit about Porsches. It's a nice Porsche. He goes, what do you pay for your Porsche? He goes, nothing. It's free. How'd you do that? And then he explains that he has a business and it's a write-off and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I own a business. Yes, I understand write-offs. You still make the goddamn payment. It's not fucking free. But that's the mentality these days. It's just, it's just free. It's a write-off.
Yeah.
Your payment's probably $9,000 a month.
Yeah. Meanwhile, me and my wife live in one of the highest tax states in the union.
Yeah, but your state have a sales tax.
No, we don't have sales tax.
Right, and that's you get fucked one way or the other.
Yeah, basically. But federally, we owe every year, and we both claim zero. And it's just because we both punch a time clock, and so we have no deductions on anything. We make enough to where we're in a crappy tax bracket, but not enough to be super comfortable.
Right.
Yeah. But when you're punching a time clock, you definitely pay the most taxes.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll argue that as well. But if I sat down with you off camera and explained how many taxes we pay a month, it's so stupid. And I got in a fight with one of my friends that swings the opposite direction of me. That's a good joke because he's gay and a liberal. And
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
he would appreciate that joke.
No, hold on. No, the gay part. The liberal part, there's something wrong.
But he was like, I pay more in taxes than you do. I was like, the fuck you do, dude. He's like, oh, you're just talking about sales tax. I was like, no. Employment tax. Like, there's so many taxes out there. It's just stupid.
Yep.
Back to the lotto thing. So when I bought this Powerball like a year ago, you sit down like and have the conversation. Like, what would you do if you won? So me and Katie have this conversation, and my one thing I wanted to do, and maybe I'm a raging alcoholic. She goes, would we get rid of the bar? I'm like, no. I would keep most of our employees and then just lock the doors.
Well, you have to have something to do, especially if it's not a huge,
right.
Like a lotto would be good, but you have to win a big lotto. If you're getting like 10 million, you still got to work.
Oh, this was like a 10 billion lotto when I played.
And not what I mean is you don't have to work to make money. You have to work so that you don't spend money, because if you're not making it, spending it, you still have to have a day-to-day something to do.
I spend more money when I'm off work than any other day of the week.
Same here. I had an opportunity to go to 410s. I turned it down because if I have an extra day off, I'm spending that money.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because you're bored.
Yeah. That's why even if I won a fuck you lottery, I would still, I would open a CrossFit gym because I'm a douchebag in Spokane, right next to your bar. And not plan on making much money, but you have to have something to do.
We have to have, well, with that said, you have to have a write-off as well.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
I had something to say. I lost it.
That'll happen.
Yeah, write-offs, money. We're all poor. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We made it a lot farther than we were supposed to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we this episode talking about like how we met and the come up, but I think that football thing got us going. Maybe we should wait till next episode for that.
Maybe.
I do feel like we should tell the origin story of our shitty podcast name, though.
Have at her.
Yeah, so the Real for Life thing. So when me and Joe were in high school, hold
on, let me sidebar already. So like the reason people drive lowriders is because they're poor. It's the cheapest
that's where I was going with it. Yep,
it's the cheapest thing to do with your vehicle. Buy an old piece of shit and lower it.
Well, I sent you an Instagram post the other day of a fucking Vespa scooter with Harley Fat Boy wheels on it. And it was gangster as shit, but it was a scooter. You can make anything cool.
Oh, absolutely.
But you still have to stick within your genre. So me and Joe, we didn't have rich parents that bought us what we wanted in high school, which, we graduated in 2000. I mean, we wanted a fucking Honda Civic slammed on 17.
Absolutely.
That was the absolute dream.
Dude, I had my mini truck and I bought 18s. I was so stoked.
No, you didn't buy 18s.
Yes, I did.
No, I was there at Les Schwab with you. This is classic Joe right here. They said, we don't have the chrome 18s in stock. They can be here in 8 days. We do have the polished 17s in stock.
No, they were polished 18s, and I wanted the chrome ones.
You couldn't wait 8 fucking days.
No. And there were 18s, and I was super stoked. But again, like 20s were barely out, and 18s were huge. And we're talking 86 B2000. So
but that was after high school. That was Navy enlistment money right there.
That is true, but it wasn't after high school.
It was after high school. Both of us still had the G bodies in high school. It was after high school. I got the Honda Prelude.
Nope. You're wrong. And I smoked weed in high school. Me and Davey Atwood had the same. Me and Davey had the same truck. His was white, mine was tan. In high school.
I don't think he's gonna get mad from prison, bro.
He might be dead. No, nobody knows.
Poor guy. But oh
No, I
yeah,
had it
maybe
in
that
high
was
school.
high school. But anyway, let me get back to the beginning here. So me and Joe had I had an 81 Buick Century 4-door G body. It's what an old lady drove in the 80s. It's what nobody drove in 1997.
No,
Joe had pretty much the exact same car. Yours was an 82, wasn't it?
mine was an 82 Cutlass, which would be super gangster if it was the 2-door.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. It was the 4-door.
It was the Brom though. You had the
Dude.
vinyl top.
Vinyl top, crushed velvet interior,
Mm-hmm.
power seats. I mean,
Mhm.
82 power seats. Thing was plush.
Yeah. So we basically had the exact same car. Velvet bench front seats. That's what you want, fellas. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Velvet bench.
Center
seat.
console flipped up. It was basically a couch.
You're damn right it was. So you're not going to be able to put a spoiler on these cars. So we did the only thing you can do. We made them lowriders. And by the way, it always pissed me off because Joe's car was lowered. He took a heat torch to it. Either that or the springs were just saggy. But he had hubcaps. Now, I had actual wire wheels, 100 spokes on my
Get those.
deep dish.
How'd you get those?
I saved up lots of money. Dude, I saved up for those. And then because it wasn't lowered, you still gave me shit every day. It's no fucking lowrider. It's not lowered. But anyway, there's a couple car clubs in town. In Spokane, there's nothing to do. So you go cruising every Friday and Saturday night. You go cruising because you're not old enough to get into the bar. And it's really the only thing to do because you're too old to go to the roller rink still.
That's
Huge bummer.
coming back here, which I'm super excited about. Cruising.
What, cruising?
Yeah. I've seen kids out there.
Dude, cruising was fun.
When we were kids, dude, even the Hicks got into it. They had their big ass trucks. They bring couches.
Yep.
Like all of division was covered
yeah.
with 18-year-olds to 16-year-olds cruising.
Yep.
And a couple
And-
curvy 25-year-olds.
That's right. And there was a car club in town that was awesome. It was called Locos. And that's where the nice lowriders were.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ones with, like,
That was like
hydraulics.
rich
You had
poor
to have
people.
you had to have like hydraulics. You had to have true knockoffs
Right.
rims, which were much more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And our cars just weren't nice enough for that. But
No,
they were nice enough for real for life.
thank you for circling that back. Hold on, I just ordered a beer. Is that bad? I text for a beer.
No, you own the bar. I'm in my garage. Joe's getting his beer. 5 seconds, people. Ooh, is that a hazy?
Service.
Is that a hazy?
Oh yeah, it's like
Hold that
basically orange juice.
Oh, that looks tasty. Anyway, so our cars were not nice enough for Locos, and I mean, they weren't even close.
But I think
Yours
we got.
was painted primer black. I mean,
I'll tell the story on that in a second. I think we were approached by them though.
by Real for Life.
Yeah, like we didn't
they
seek
flagged us
out
down.
them. Yeah.
So our soon-to-be very good friend Luis, who was like a legit Mexican. That feels weird to say.
Oh,
We're
like-
talking like definitely not legal.
Not legal here at all.
Not a fucking chance. But he had a Mercury Grand Marquis. That's what I said. Mercury Grand Marquis. And it had actual like true knockoffs, hydros, full meal deal.
Yeah, and then he like masking taped off. Do you remember he did the 1-inch masking tape and then faded out the blue spray paint on top of the white car?
Yes. Oh, dude, he was badass. I watched
Dude,
him
it was-
save his door handles.
Oh
you know
my
what
god.
he used to do it? Cardboard and Bondo. He's a real Mexican. I'm telling you. So
With
anyway.
spray paint, that man could paint. Like,
oh, dude, he was awesome. I
Yeah.
loved Luis. But anyway, so we ended up joining this car club, Real for Life, because that's what we could get into. And we didn't know, like, this guy had just moved from Las Vegas. It was a legit car club with the big chrome plaques. We couldn't
Right.
get the chrome plaques, so we
Yeah.
had like decals made at the mall that said "Real for Life"
Right. Because we
stuck
were
on the back window.
16.
Yeah, because you're 16. But it sounded like a legit thing because he was like, the only way out now is in the box. And we were like, I don't know if I'm ready for this level of commitment in my life right now. But that being said, I think that means technically we're still members.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gangster as fuck.
Yeah. And both of us fulfilled that dream when we got our service enlistment bonuses. I got $6,000. I spent every penny of it on that Buick. I put hydraulics in it. I got a paint job from Mako, their best one.
Oh yeah.
And I
Diamond paint with a candy on top. Blah blah. Whatever the post was.
And I got the 14-inch deep dish true knockoff wire wheels. And I fulfilled my teenage dream of going left on Francis and Division in 3-wheel motion. It was awesome. The new Snoop Dogg CD or Chronic 2001 had just came out.
Bling 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 bling.
Oh, it was a training day moment, dude.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. And then I pulled over in a parking lot and was like hopping, and my radiator fell out. But it was candy painted.
God. So I got a fun story on my enlistment bonus. So I got $4,000,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't get it until you finish boot camp. So I took a loan out for
No
$4,000. So I took a loan out for the $4,000. I did what you did and got on FBI Fender Bender Incorporated, which was for mini trucks, and bought a full chrome front end, bought those rims, and then I was out of money because I couldn't afford a paint job. But
dude, that Mazda was so sick. I
love that
fucking
car.
loved that Mazda. No, tell them about the air ride. Tell them about the air ride.
So then I got
Airbags.
Again, we're broke. So I got air shocks and then
We're rich with ideas.
and ran it to the valve out the rear bumper. Well, I didn't have a rear bumper, out where the bumper would be. And then so I could lower it down to basically sitting on the ground, or I could go to a gas station and hook up the air compressor and raise it back up.
Is that air shocks, right?
Because it had air shocks. Yeah. Got to think outside the box.
No, there was more to that. I remember at one point you literally had a fucking propane tank in the passenger side.
No.
Was that Davey?
That was Davey.
Davey had the same truck. Did you put the farm hinges on the bed of your truck?
I put the farm hinges on the bed so I could shave the gas can or filler spout, and then you had to lift your bed up to put gas in it.
Nice.
So
we really should have paid more attention in shop class. We could have done so much more.
Well, Mr. Clements was basically do whatever you want. Like he didn't teach much.
No, I sure didn't. I built a chisel. That was as far as I got.
I just smoked cigarettes and melted pennies.
So we didn't pay attention in shop class, but we did pay attention in sewing class.
Oh yeah.
Me and Joe were
the only dudes in creative sewing.
Yeah, a creative sewing with Mrs. Finch. Finch or Brown?
Couch.
That's right. Great sewing teacher.
Who loved us?
Whole interior. Oh, of course you loved us. Redid the whole interior of my Buick, red crushed velvet and white vinyl. And I distinctly remember, I told you I was going to tell this story last podcast, but I had a date with this chick. She was Latina. You know, I'm a fan. And I picked her up for said date, and she was in an apartment, which is another bonus, right? Like, you know, there's issues there already when there's an adult kid in an apartment. So anyway, we do the date. She hops in the back seat, and I tell her no.
Because I got new upholstery.
Because that new upholstery. I didn't want to mess it up.
She went to the trunk. It was big enough.
I probably saved myself a lot of child support right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyways, take out a $4,000 loan. Join the Navy. When I signed up for the Navy, I signed up because I did score higher than you on the ASVAB. the first time, but you took it twice.
That's right. I'm not a quitter. I knew the job I wanted. I went back.
I was on Nuke Subs, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty gangster." And then the movie U571 came out, and I watched it.
You remember what Davey scored? Wasn't it like really
4?
bad? Sorry, keep going.
So I watched that movie, and I was like, "Why the hell would I want to be a submarine? That's scary as shit." And then for some reason, me and my dad were in San Francisco, and the boat from Down Parachute was there. The sub.
Periscope?
Yeah, with Chelsea Grammer. So I took a tour of that, and I was like, "Oh, absolutely not! I'm out." So I went back to my recruiter, and I was like, "Dude, get me out of subs. Like, there's no way I can do this." And he goes, "Okay, what do you want to do?" Because again, I scored pretty decent, where I had a free range of shit, and they're like, "Whatever you want to do," which I should have looked at the list, because there's certain jobs that you find out about that you're like, that would have been cool, but you don't know about. Anyways, so I was like, take me as far away from the flight deck as possible. They're like, or not flight deck, submarine. They said flight deck. I was like, cool, that sounds fun. So I worked on the flight deck, which was awesome because you got to see shit. Nobody's allowed outside the boat, so I actually got to see stuff. So I'm in boot camp. Sorry, I'm doing the flash forward, flash back. So I go to boot camp.
Very complex show.
Yeah. And you got the gas chamber, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in boot camp has to go through the gas chamber, which if you've never seen it, Google it, YouTube it. It's pretty fucked up.
The videos never do it justice.
No, because it looks painful, but it's terrible. And so they you're in there with your gas mask, and they put this little like Catholic wafer on the burner, and it burns, and then they start talking to you, and you're like, oh, this isn't bad, but you can feel like the sweat on your gas mask start like sizzling, and you're like, oh, whatever's out there is bad. And then they make you take off your gas mask and either make you sing or sing your say your general orders or whatever it may be, but they make you talk. And as soon as you start talking and then breathe in, it's game over, and the most mucus and fluid just starts coming out of you, and it's awful. The point to the story is after that, you go out of the chamber and you figure they've done this a million times and they would have something fancy for you to wash off with. No, they have a blue
that's
kiddie
only half
pool.
the experience. The other half is afterwards.
They have a blue kiddie pool, and they're like, shove your face in there, that everybody's shoving their face in.
Oh, so we didn't have that.
Oh, no?
No, we just got out there and they yelled at us, don't fucking touch your eyes. Don't touch your eyes. And
well, you had to walk around and flap your arms, which I have no idea. I think they were just making fun of us.
So that you don't touch your eyes.
And then they had a fucking kiddie pool that you could wash your face off with. Well, then after that, my whole unit went back to the barracks and took showers. They were like, Condon, they need to see you in legal. I was like, okay, that's weird. Go to legal. Wait. They call me back. They're like, so when you first enlisted at this date, there was a signing bonus. But then when you changed your rate, which is your job in the Navy, it was this date, and there was no signing bonus. So you don't get a signing bonus.
And you had a $4,000 loan.
And I already took out the loan. I was like, awesome.
Dude, there is a reason enlistment is 4 years and a car loan is 5 years. That's how they keep you in. I promise.
So then after that, then it's chow hall time. And so I meet my unit back at fucking chow hall, which they've all showered, and I have not. So all that acid or whatever is still on me. And it like gave me the worst rash around the collar of my shirt. And I had that the rest of boot camp. And that
because you know those come in like a grenade form, right? Like CS gas grenade.
Right.
So we had a drill sergeant that we were out on the range doing some shit. So we put all our rucksacks dressed in formation, basically. Right. And then he calls fall in. We all run over to our packs. We're getting them on. He had hid a CS grenade under one of the fucking backpacks that started going off. And all of us start freaking out. So naturally, he calls us to attention. And we just have to fucking stand there and take it. And that fucking thing, because supposedly at a molecular level or whatever it is, that molecule or whatever the hell it is shaped like a hook. So it holds on to material. So all of our backpacks for like the next week, every time
That's
anybody
what I'm saying with the shirt. I was
Fuck
wearing
you
it all day. Never got to take a shower. Went back for whatever fucking sleepy time is. I don't know. I've been out of the military for 20 years and never got a shower until I woke up the next morning.
Yep.
It was fucked.
Yeah, we had a overnight out in the field where they were randomly hitting us with CS gas so that we could practice, like
donning masks and all that shit.
So basically, what everybody did was we dug a hasty in the ground, which was like a 1.5 foot deep hole, and we just slept in our full mop gear. That was the coldest fucking night. It was early January in Fort Benning, Georgia. So it's like cold, but it's also humid.
Oh yeah,
and just froze my ass off that night. And this was back like when they were still issuing like BDUs, like the forest green ones, like the old school army fatigues.
right.
So there was no Gore-Tex coats or anything. You're wearing a fucking cotton. Those Korean War and Vietnam era veterans are way the fuck harder than we are.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like,
every generation
suffered in rain for 3 months straight with that shitty fucking coat.
Oh yeah. That's the only thing I have still, and it still fits me, is my pea coat. And that thing, I bet I could sell for a few bucks. Like the Navy legit pea coat.
Yeah,
that thing's like
badass.
thick wool. I'd be standing fucking guard, sweating my balls off, and it'd be like 3 degrees.
I don't think I have anything left. I've got one of the big green army duffel bags up there that's got like some random shit in it, but I think I got rid of everything except for like one uniform and my class A's. And every year I try to put my class
I walked
A's
off a boat, took my fucking dungaree bag, and threw it in the fucking dumpster.
Yeah. And if you try to take it to the surplus store, they give you like $2.
Well, that's how they make money, and they're making a killing. Look at them.
Yeah.
I don't even know which one. All of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I got issued some cool stuff when I was in. When we got issued all new fatigues at the start of the 03
right
storm thing. And we got these badass fatigues. They only used them for like a couple months and then they replaced them. But they had these big fucking Elvis collars on them. They were so badass. I think they were called DCUs. I don't know.
What was that movie? What was that movie? Fucking Robert De Niro. Analyze that. Analyze this, analyze that. Were the collars, and we thought the collars were so gangster. That's what I'm picturing now. Because they were like the huge collars that were really tight.
And it's like super close together down here.
Right.
Yeah. Consultieri. Analyze This is one of the greatest fucking movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Crystal. Peak Billy Crystal.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, that's how Real for Life came about, and that's
we didn't choose it because we liked it. I chose it. Sorry, Joe. I chose it because you'd be amazed how many fucking podcasts are out there.
Oh yeah, we're totally gonna make it.
All the names are taken.
Oh yeah,
but for some reason, I can't imagine why Real for Life, where the 4 is a number, you're not spelling it. That was available. So that's what we went with. So if we're going to make this work, audience, all 5 of you that are going to hear this, if you want to help your bro, share the show. Take a picture of it, share it on the Instagram, share the link, send it to your friends. I would love it if this podcast could get big enough to where we could do a live episode at your bar. That's literally my dream with this podcast. That's it. And then we can quit.
I'm like, if we had like one sponsor, even if it was like, I don't even know what it would be.
I think if we can get 50 subscribers, then Gather Coffee might sponsor us. Our buddy Scott.
Possibly.
And I got tons of great, very flattering stories about him, so I'm sure he'll be on board.
Okay, I feel awful. Can we pause this? Because I got to piss so bad right now.
No, I you know what? We're at about 45 minutes. I think we should end it.
Off of P? Okay, we can end it on P.
Hold on, let me close it out real quick. Hold on. Pinch it. Anyway, yeah, so share the show if you can. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. We're on Spotify. We should be on iTunes. We're not going on YouTube because with everything we discuss
I thought
here,
we were
they're
doing
gonna
YouTube.
close off anyway. Now we're doing Rumble, bro. We're making a stand for
Nobody
free
knows what that
speech.
is.
Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what Rumble is. But that's why we're doing it. We got to spread the word.
Jesus.
We're probably going to put it on YouTube as well, as soon as I figure out how. At any rate, share the show. Be a bro. Till next time, this is Jesse and Joe. I did not mean to rhyme that. Real for life. We out.
It rhymes though. Thanks, guys.